Hi everyone, we are Group 7 and our intervention is FAST, Single Parents of San Diego, Food for Alleviating Stress Together. Our names are Carly Fisenmeyer, Chelsea Stewart, Shayna Lee, and Donald Guy. The goal of FAST is to reduce stress and stress-related illnesses in the single parents who have children attending the elementary schools of Perkins and Oak Park in San Diego County. Prior to beginning our intervention, we have developed a few evaluation questions in which we hope to answer upon completion of the program by way of bivariate data analysis. Our program plans to target single parents with no exclusions based on gender, ethnicity, race, or age. Specifically, FAST will target single parents within San Diego County, especially those in low-income communities with 2 or more children whom attend the elementary schools, Perkins and Oak Park. Our program will use the health belief model to help inform our intervention on how to change the behavior of our single parent population. This theory depends on 3 factors: sufficient motivation, the belief that one is vulnerable to serious illnesses, and the belief that a health recommendation would reduce their perceived threat. By using the health belief model, we strive to change attitudes and increase awareness while continuing to promote action among single parents. In addition, we hope to make changes in health and improve overall health and well-being, whether it's mental or physical. FAST will use a quasi-experimental research design with the utilization of a pretest and a post-test. The pretest will be completed before the start of the intervention, and the post-test will be completed upon completion of the intervention. An experimental group and a comparison group will be used to measure results. The experimental group will be comprised of single parents with 2 or more children from a specific elementary school, and the comparison group will also be single parents with 2 or more children but from a different elementary school. We will be using a non-proportional sampling procedure. We will take 30 adults from Perkins and 30 adults from Oak Park Elementary Schools, 5 adults from each grade, K through 5, non-dependent on the population of each class. This means there will be 60 adults in total participating in FAST and 15 adults per class session. We will be measuring our independent and dependent variables, stress level, and diet by handing out questionnaires to each participant. Our questionnaire to measure stress levels will include questions based on physical, sleep, behavioral, and emotional indicators. Our questionnaire that will be used to measure our participants' diet will include questions based on physical and emotional indicators. This is an example of some of the questions we will have on one of our questionnaires to measure the level of stress our program participants have before and after our program is implemented. An example of a question from the physical indicator section is, "My body feels tense all over." The participant would then have to answer on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being never and 5 being almost always. A question from our sleep indicator section is, "I have trouble falling asleep." Again, the participant would have to answer on a scale of 1 to 5. Lastly, an example of a question from our emotional indicator section is, "It's hard for me to relax at home." This is another example of one of the questionnaires we will have that will measure whether or not our program participants feel they have a healthy diet before and after the program. A few example questions are, "Fruits and vegetables are included in my daily meals." "How often do you eat out at restaurants?" "Processed meat or chicken products are included in my meals." The participants would have to answer these questions on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being never and 5 being almost always. Our variables of interest are diet and stress level. Therefore, we will be using a bivariate analysis. We will determine if there is a difference in stress levels and diet between the individuals in the experimental and comparison groups upon completion of the FAST program. The statistical tests used are independent t-test and chi-square. As part of bivariate analysis, these two statistical tests are best used to measure the association between two variables. The top two tables exemplify independent t-tests because they show mean scores on our pre-test and post-test for both our stress indicators questionnaire and our healthy eating habits questionnaire. We used independent t-test because it allowed us to compare the scores of the questionnaires after the two groups were exposed to our intervention. The bottom two tables exemplify chi-square because they display nominal data, which are percentages of single parents who felt our intervention decreased their stress levels or whether their stress levels remained the same upon completion. In addition, it also shows the percentages of single parents who felt our intervention increased their healthy eating habits or whether their habits remained the same. Based on our data, we found that 53% of our program participants showed decreased levels of stress, which is 32 participants. We also found that our program participants stated they noticed a change in their attitudes towards healthy eating and stated they are going to apply what they learned to their everyday life. Lastly, our findings stated we received a good rating from half of our program participants, which is 30 adults. This chart shows you our overall findings upon completion of 1-year-long program FAST. As a result, we found that the stress levels in the single parents at Perkins Elementary decreased more so than that of the single parents at Oak Park Elementary. Based on our evaluation questionnaire, 20 single parents from Perkins stated after FAST they noticed their stress levels decreased. We also found that 18 single parents from Oak Park stated their stress levels remained the same as before the program. However, based on our healthy eating questionnaire, the single parents of Oak Park stated they have increased their healthy eating behaviors after completion of FAST, whereas 15 single parents from Perkins Elementary stated their eating habits remained the same as they were before the program. Overall, we found FAST to be a successful program in helping single parents to at least manage their stress levels and to create a more healthier lifestyle for them and their children. The limitations of this design include single-parent bias, inconsistencies in participation, exclusions, and no randomization resulting in discrepancies. Due to our bias of using only single parents in this program, we are unable to assess the stress levels and diet of the community as a whole. Thank you for listening.